Hey, what is up, nerds, geeks, and collectors alike? Today we're taking a look at the Takara Tomy Tranformers Age of Extinction Movie Advance Voyager class Revenge Optimus Prime. And this guy is a repaint of the Transformers Hunt for the Decepticons Voyager class Battle Blades Optimus Prime, which was my first ever Optimus Prime figure in terms of the movieverse. And unfortunately, my Battle Blades Optimus Prime got beaten up, so I had to sell it. And months later, I thought I should get a replacement for that figure. And when I searched online, I saw this guy. He was going for about $30. Since the seller was disposing almost all of his Optimus Prime figures, he was quitting. And funny thing is, this was supposed to be a set. Fortunately, I spoke with another person who was interested in the other figure that this figure comes along with, so we made a deal that he gets that piece and I get this piece. And taking a close look at the figure, here is Revenge Optimus Prime, looking awesome. Personally, this mold of Optimus Prime for me is the best version. This guy really beats the Studio Series Optimus Prime figures for me, as well as the other Optimus Prime figures that came after him. This was really the most accurate Optimus Prime, and this was like a downscaled version of the Leader class, and I think in terms of Voyager class, no one can really beat this guy. This version is a lot darker. This guy has darker red and darker blue, not to mention some of the parts are chromed, which is a very nice touch. I personally like it. So what can I say about the painting and the sculpting of this guy? The painting and the overall mode is absolutely Optimus Prime at its finest. It doesn't get as movie accurate as this. I think the only inaccurate piece are the feet, but the rest is actually a very screen accurate figure, and the painting are neatly and cleanly, not to mention precisely applied onto the figure. And let's take a look here. I was thinking of considering this as an accessory, but let's just consider this as a gimmick. This is made of rubbery plastic. It has the silver paint applied very neatly, and not to mention it has some orange paint for the illusion that his dual blades are burning. And he includes the matrix of leadership. But first, I forgot to mention, his blades can actually be removed right here. Since it's just soft rubbery plastic, you can remove that with no problem at all, as well as put it back with no problem. There you go. And coming back to the matrix, unfortunately I lost that since the piece was very small and it tends to hinder the transformation. Optimus Prime said it's supposed to slot in there, but with the matrix you cannot do that, so you have to remove it in order to transform Optimus. And unfortunately, the one time that I transformed Optimus, I lost it. So let's just think that this is movie 1 Optimus Prime, not the movie 2 version, since he didn't have the matrix of leadership. Apparently he didn't have the matrix of leadership in the first movie. And one of the cool accessories that Optimus Prime comes with is the gas canisters, which converts into his gun right here. Let's just stand them up first. Oh, there it goes. Over time, the joints have become flimsy, but not too flimsy in the part where it's annoyingly hard to handle. So what you have to do here is that you just flip this piece out. There we go. And just tab it into his hand, and there you have a beautifully chromed gun. And just tab it in here. There we go. And for the other hand, let's just move the blades aside. There we go. And for the other one, here it is. Flip it out and then just tab it in there. And there you have it, Optimus Prime dual wielding his ion blasters, and that looks really cool. Personally, I like how it turns into the gas canisters in order for storage, and for articulation Optimus Prime can do an entire 360. He can look up that far. If you untab that spark chamber of his from his lower body and look down that far, but that's more for the transformation. If you really want Optimus Prime to look up and down, you had to untab that, otherwise he will not. His arm can extend out that far, do an entire 360 with no problem, and a bicep swivel as well as a 90-degree bend. And he does not have any wrist articulation, but what you can do is almost that, but that's more for the transformation, so let's not include that. He does not have any articulation at the torso piece, but he does kick and move his feet back that far. He cannot do the splits due to the fact that his wheels are hindering him, and to access the thigh swivel you had to untab this wheel piece, and there you have the thigh swivel and a 90-degree bend at the knee, as well as that's for the transformation. He can move back and forth as well as a pivot. Now that's about it for the articulation of Revenge Optimus Prime. Moving on to size comparisons, here we have Optimus Prime, and let's get that trusted ruler out. He stands about 7, there he goes, Autobot down, let's just get him up, and he stands about 7 inches high. Now let's get his counterpart, the Transformers Studio Series number 44 Leader Class Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime, which is technically in a Voyager scale figure, so let's just move on. And here we have Transformers Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime, which is also a leader class but in Voyager class scale, and as you can see, the newer figures barely reach 7 inches, while the Revenge Optimus Prime greatly stands about 7 inches. Moving on, let's get this guy transformed. here we have Optimus Prime in his 1992 Peterbilt 379 alternate form. This is a form that he uses from Transformers 1 to Transformers Dark of the Moon. And in figure form, this toy really nails his look. I like this a lot, considering that this guy is a downscaled version of the leader class that he is based out from. And as you can see here, all 6 of his wheels roll fairly well, and for the weapon storage, as you can see, his gas canisters are attached at the figure itself. Now for size, this guy stands about 2.5 inches high and about 7.5 inches long, and for the width, he is about 2 inches wide, and he is a very big figure in terms of the Voyager class, or I'm just getting used to the newer figures compared to their predecessors. And to compare them, to continue the size comparison, I'm no longer going to transform the other figures in vehicle form due to the fact that it takes quite some time. So here we have the Earthrise Optimus Prime, as well as the Studio Series Leader Class Optimus Prime, and there you have it. So final thoughts on the figure. I personally think this is the best, and not to mention the most screen accurate representation of the Movieverse or Bayformers Optimus Prime. If you get a chance to attain this figure, especially considering that this guy is very hard to find, considering that this version is a Takara exclusive, but I think you can still find some Battle Blades Optimus Prime from your local toy stores or maybe some hobby stores, but I still highly recommend this figure. And of course, get it at a price you are comfortable in spending with. That is to say, if you really want this figure. So if you like the video, drop a like, subscribe for more content. Until next time, see ya!